What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bleeds Crypto Show. We are back in landscape mode. So if you didn't like portrait mode, you won. It was a failed experiment. We tried. I just thought it would be something that would resonate with people on their phones, stuff like that, but it didn't work out. So we're going to move on from that. Still going to be doing some content in portrait mode. I think I want to stick with it for pre-recorded stuff. I think that's important, but you know, otherwise, and not just shorts. I want to do full length stuff over here. So guys, make sure that you hit that like button on the way in. Going to help push me up in the algorithm, and I need all the help from you guys that I can possibly get. You know why? Because you guys are awesome and I'm totally weak. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just kidding. You know I'm awesome. I'm completely awesome. If there were a legendary list of awesome people, I would have written the list. You know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys and all of your support. And guess what? We got an intro back.
It's your boy Bleed.
Verified
Everybody listen up.
Lab tested with published lab
Let's
reports.
get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's talk about it. What is going on in this market? Starting to get a little bit crazy. And by the way, look, the market is so wild today that I'm getting blurred. So what do you think happens there? That's kind of wild, right? So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's kick it off. The first thing for you to know, the most important thing I think for you to know is, hey guys, guess what? Fusaka will be here in just a few short hours. Now you might be asking yourself, Bleeds, what is Fusaka and why are you so handsome? Well, thank you, first of all, for recognizing. It's because I work out. The other thing is because Fusaka is the newest upgrade for Ethereum, and it is supposed to do a massive job. And by the way, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm kind of looking at... there's an error right here. I don't really know what's happening right now. All right, so there must be a problem with YouTube right now and the chat, because the chat doesn't seem to be working. So I'm going to pop that up right there. I'm going to pop in good morning to see if we can get anything to happen there. But it is looking like chat is down, which is kind of wild. Let's pop it. Okay, we'll close that there. We're going to go over to chat scene. I still haven't worked this one out, by the way. It's going to take me a little bit to get everything just kind of laid out the way that I want it. Let's see where it is. Where is it? Where Emmett is. There we go. All right, now we're going to fit to screen. There we go. So we're getting a little bit better. We're getting a little bit better. We're just not there yet. All right, so let's do this one. And boom. Okay, so now we have chat back. So we'll see how that goes in a little while. I'm gonna have to reset up the chat and everything like that. So thank you guys so much for having patience. Let's talk about what is Fusaka. The 17th major upgrade to Ethereum comes just about 7 months after Pectra. And by the way, have I told you guys every single time exactly what's going to happen with the Ethereum upgrades and how it's going to make everything faster, more robust and stuff like that? Of course, because I was right. And remember, all of these people came into chat not long ago when Pectra was coming out, told me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea. But guess what? How much are you paying in fees right now for your Ethereum transaction? Pennies on the dollar. That's right, pennies on the dollar. Do you know why? Because I'm always right. I mean, it's just like the song says, I'm always right. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's that simple. It's that simple. It really is. It's just that simple. Let's move over here. All right, Fusaka maintains the naming convention of tying the execution layer upgrade an earthly city, Osaka this time around, with the consensus layer improvement given nod to a heavenly body. And the star Fulu came into this. So it's Fulu, Osaka, Fusaka. Fusaka's enhancements don't include the dramatic user experience innovations or staking modifications in Pectra, but rather focus on back-end boosts to enable some of the biggest gains in network scaling since 2022. This is a major milestone. This is real scaling capacity, network efficiency and security. And how do you benefit? The changes include, in Fusaka, are carefully designed and implemented by the global Ethereum development community, working in public and in active dialogue with researchers, client teams, and validators. Each upgrade undergoes community feedback and meticulous planning before mainnet activation. Fusaka's dozens EIP have undergone 3 successful testnet runs in recent months. The changes: scaling rollup efficiency with EIP 7594, introducing peer DAS. This is data availability sampling. These are the blobs that you get that allow for the moving from the L2 back up to the L1. It's going to be much cheaper. It will allow many nodes in the network to store less data from blobs and allow us to increase the data available in blobs at the same time. Prior to peer DAS, all nodes had to store all of the blob data, and this is no longer a requirement. Also, higher throughput and gas limit changes. Now remember, you can actually pay for your transactions, the gas for your transactions, with your own native currency now if you are tokenized on the Ethereum network. So in the event that you had, I don't know, Blocky, you could actually create a mechanism by which Blocky becomes the gas that runs your ecosystem, Roger, if you're listening. The default block gas limit is set to rise, targeting 60 million gas. This is an intentional move toward consistent scaling. The 7825 introduces a transaction gas limit cap of 16.7 million gas. This limit is a proactive DOS hardening measure that ensures no single transaction can consume an entire block, making the network more resilient. Then you have passkey support. By the way, this means this means your seed phrase for your wallets is going to change as we expand and work on this ecosystem. This is a fundamental shift that enables smoother onboarding, easier recovery, and multi-factor flows that resemble modern apps without requiring a seed phrase. This is a massive move and a massive change in cryptocurrency. Also, 7939, which is count leading zeros opcode, which makes certain math operations faster and cheaper. You prevent a single transaction from clogging the network. You can help transaction fees fair and adaptive to network congestion. You can allow Ethereum to safely and gradually increase network data capacity between big upgrades. That reduces the risk of network delays and attacks from oversized blocks. It helps the network know who is proposing blocks ahead of time and makes it easier for monitoring tools and validators to check network settings. Guys, I can't stress enough, this is the biggest upgrade that we've seen for Ethereum, okay? This is going to be a huge fundamental paradigm shift in the way Ethereum is run. And I think that this is going to start a massive rally. But let's move on and let's get into the news, because there's a lot to go over here. SEC chairman reveals innovation exemption for crypto firms could start in January. Paul Atkins stated that the innovation exemption rules for crypto firms would be put in place by next month. He also revealed they're working with Congress to advance the crypto market structure bill, which is expected to happen very, very soon. The voting is going to be in December. But during a CNBC interview, Atkins stated that the agency could move forward with the innovation exemption rules for crypto firms in the next month or so. This came as he commented on plans for the crypto industry as they work to embrace it and move away from the anti-crypto stance under the previous administration. And this would basically mean that you could now, if you so choose, you could now get an exemption and not be attacked. You know, that's what you're dealing with. You were dealing with Gary Gensler and the Goon Squad attacking cryptocurrency, who are just trying to build. And by the way, I'm not saying that everybody's innocent. That's silly to think that or say that. But it is important to recognize that these guys are trying to give you a lane in which you can now, moving over, you can now build in this network and in this ecosystem and not have to worry about the U.S. government knocking on your door. Now, of course, if you're doing illegal stuff, I mean, you're on your own, obviously. But most people are not. That's not the way that it works. So to see this happen is a really good sign. As CoinGate reported, the SEC chair first teased the innovation exemption rules in September, stating that they could finalize them by the end of the year. However, Atkins explained during the interview that the U.S. government shutdown, which lasted through October and into November, derailed their plans as they couldn't do anything during that period. Now, the innovation exemption rule will enable crypto firms to launch products faster, especially in DeFi. The SEC chair has previously noted that some current securities laws could hinder innovation in the crypto space. As such, this move will enable these firms to obtain exemptions from these laws pending when Congress passes the crypto market structure bill. Now, that crypto market structure bill is going to be voted on in December. Early part of December, by the way. I believe December 13th is the deadline for the Clarity Act to hit the floor for some kind of movement, whatever that movement's going to be. Now, let's keep moving on here. Ethereum price prediction. ETF outflows hit 79 million as institution accumulation surges. Institutions are continuing to accumulate. By the way, when you look at the market right now, the market was having a really good run today. It wasn't looking too bad. It was up $134 billion on the day right now. You can also see, by the way, that I've moved this around just a little bit so that you can see some of that volume node. I think that volume node was kind of important, so we want to put that back. We want to put that on the other side, though. But going down the list here, Dev breaking out today, SWE breaking out up 13%, Near Protocol up 10%, Tau up 6%, Solana up 7%, Ethereum up 5.5%, Bitcoin rallying back to 90,000 up 5%. I mean, you're starting to see some breakouts. Now, is this, by the way, is this a really good move in the market? Well, we need some recovery first before we can really call it an uptick. We're at 3.04 trillion. We're going to go back to the fundamentals of what I was saying before. And look, if we're in this spot right here, 3.04 trillion, which, by the way, was the number that I gave you guys that could be a rejection area a couple days ago. So we'll see. I mean, are we going to continue to see a big move? I really don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know that is or is not the case. But here it is, this volume node right here. We have to break above this big volume area and get back into that 3.26 range, which is another $200 billion in market cap coming into it. So until we really break above, and by the way, when I said that, what I was also telling you is 91,400 is going to be your line to gain on Bitcoin. It's going back to 91,400 right now. So there could be a breakout on the horizon. There could be a lot of institutions paying a lot of attention right now, with the idea being that the rate cut is coming. And if that rate cut is coming, then it's going to accelerate what's going on in all of these markets. A depressed market, by the way. And don't forget rotation. Silver at an all-time high. Gold at an all-time high. All of these precious metals are absolutely running right now. And when they run, what does that mean? That means that eventually that thing will rotate over. When it starts to stall, people are looking for profit. They're looking for places. They're looking for havens for profit. And the next one up is probably crypto and Bitcoin. All of the pieces are falling into place where everybody is telling you, hey, the bull market's over. We're in a bear market now. All these goblins with their confirmations of what's going on and how we're going down, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. Guess what? And by the way, I'm not saying that we won't touch 75,000. I think Dr. Profit probably right about it. I think we're at the point right now where we need to at least acknowledge that, somebody like a Dr. Profit, they're pretty in tune with what's going on in the market. But that bounce right there, if we break above here, 91,400, then it is likely possible that you can forget all of that. Now, confirmation would need a couple of candles above 91,400, and then we need to use 91.4 for support, and it would look like this, just to give you guys some idea here. A bounce above, probably near that 50 MA, so maybe a nice little surge and then a breakdown. And I'll be honest with you, if you're looking at symmetry, you could take a Fibonacci and say, well, where does the Fibonacci say that we would come down into that 618 sort of range right there? And look at this. Do you notice that it plays out perfectly? So we could see a surge back up to 100,000. Then we could see a break back down to about 90 or 91,000. We get a surge and a bounce off of 91,400. Guess what? The rally's back on. And by the way, that does not mean that you're not being manipulated. But when I say the rally's back on, what I mean is this. A move like that tells AI algorithms that we're bullish again, okay? Because you're ticking the boxes. So you have positive money flow on MACD. You have an RSI that's a little bit low. You bounce off of an area of extreme support, which 91,400 is. Then guess what? The rally is back on because you're extending all of the bullish narratives. And you're meeting the 50 MA, which means that if you break above the 50 MA, then you can start to get that rally point. Okay, that's really what's going on. So I don't know if it'll happen, but there's a possibility. There's a real possibility that we're looking at an enormous sort of breakout happening. And I know that's a lot of lines for you guys, but that's just the idea. That's it's a running thesis. So consider that Ethereum is now at 2807. We're up to about 3,000 right now. A clean double bottom formed around 27.23. That trend tends to favor early recoveries as it is highly rejective of lower flows. Now, what we first have to deal with is in 24 hours, here's where it gets interesting. In 24 hours, we're going to have a buy the rumor, sell the news event, which is going to be the Fusaka upgrade. Once that's done, it's going to be cause for a lot of people to start looking to sell, okay? So the upper wall of the descending channel was also retested by price after breaking out. The immediate outlook indicates a rush to 30.80 in case of continued pressure by buyers. The next stage is a secondary move towards 36.29, and the larger estimates already indicate a figure of 39.15 after every resistance is broken. So buyers and sellers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the next big move, and these next big moves, 30.80, 36.29, and 39.15, could be in the pipe right now. What does Ethereum look like? Look at that breakout. Beautiful breakout by Ethereum on the 4 hour. Right now, the 1 hour probably ready to flip bullish because that is a good breakout. Again, 30.80, top of this range right here. You're basically talking about this wick right here. And this trade volume, like right in this little range right there. So if you're looking for it, then you've got this little top formed right there. And that's 30.78, 30.80, but basically close enough. So you've got that range right there. And when you zoom it out a little bit further, guess what? As the longer you go, the more you find that this range right here has a whole lot of support and resistance. So I would expect that we're probably going to see that happen very quickly. And the question is, do we break above? That's really it. Do we break above when that happens? So make sure you hit the like button, by the way, on your way in. We got about 9-10 people right now. Hit the like button. Like, ew, gross. Were your fingers broken? All right, so guess what? The chat just came up. All right, there we go. All right, so let's do chat scene again. All right. You know what? Let me pop this out and let me Control C. Let's try this one more time. For whatever reason, seriously, for whatever reason, I'm in the wrong goddamn chat. How crazy is that? That is absolutely nanners, as people like me would say. Absolutely nanners. There we go. All right, so we got that worked out. We got this worked out. Let's move this. Holy shit, please get your shit together. Being such an idiot. There we go. All right, now. All right, now. Lock. Now. Lock. Now. Unlock. Now. Now. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper, guys. Get to the choppers. All right, so now, let's try it again. All right, guys. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning. We now have a chat scene all over again. So if you want to talk about any of your cryptos, remember that's done through Super Chat. So otherwise, we talk about what I want to talk about. So thank you guys so much, by the way, for tuning in. And we finally got this thing right. And we're back to landscape mode. So I hope you guys like that. If you do like it, make sure you share it with all your friends. Now, more news. Let's keep going here because there's a lot to go over. And next up is forget the 4-year cycle, Grayscale says. Projects 2026. I said projects. Son of a bitch, please. You are such a goon. At Bitcoin breakout year. Now, Grayscale said Bitcoin would hit a new all-time high in 2026. The firm argues the 4-year cycle boom and bust cycle is now outdated. It says that the modern price drivers now influence Bitcoin more than having driven supply shocks. So the supply shock is not a problem anymore. It's the accumulation of institutional money is what they think is happening. There's a belief that the Bitcoin price changes followed by its supply halving schedule. This means that the price tends to rise over 3 years, then drop significantly in the 4th year. However, the firm now says this way of thinking is outdated. The report explains why the old model is no longer valid. In contrast to past bull markets, the coin did not have a rally that normally happens before a significant drop. No kidding. No fucking kidding. Like, man, you can't even make this shit up, right? This is what I've been telling you guys for a while now. Now, you've got some 4-year cycle guys that are still telling you, no, it's going to be a 4-year cycle, bro. It's going to be a 4-year cycle. And also, did you watch the match with John Cena over the weekend? Oh, man, there were some girls out there and they had really big boobies. And, you know, that's the way they talk in my head when they say shit like that. 4-year cycle is dead. All right. 4-year cycle is dead. Also, today, capital inflows mainly come through exchange traded products and corporate digital asset treasuries. Furthermore, conditions still seem favorable to risk assets going into 2025. So Grayscale, one of the largest companies in the world when it comes to money, says, hey, guess what? We're not done yet. There's going to be a lot more to come. And they're not trying to trick you in right now. They're trying to let everybody know what their insiders know what the market is. Do you think that these billion and trillion dollar asset managers are trying to wreck their people? If you do, you're not thinking clearly. If you do, you're not thinking clearly. First of all, you've got this. You've got these theses that are starting to break out. Then you have the M2 money supply still flowing to the upside. Then you have precious metals still surging, meaning a capital rotation is going to happen, and you're not bullish. What are you, a dum-dum? Oh my God, dude, what is wrong with you? And I have to say dude, because it turns out 99% of you guys watching are male. So it's okay for me to say dude. Breaking. First US Chainlink ETF has gone live and it's called Glink, which is ridiculous. Glink. Hilarious. But Chainlink. And by the way, do you want to know what Chainlink does? Everything that you need done. Chainlink, the reason that you have TradingView, Chainlink, it's one of the major contributors to prices so that you know what the prices are across all different platforms, et cetera, et cetera. Chainlink is where you get your information. Now, let me tell you this. API 3 does it better. There are others that do it better. But Chainlink is the one that's ubiquitous right now with markets. So because it's everywhere that you want to be, it is it's an asset that's important for you to have. Okay, it's a good thing for you to have it right now. So you know, I think that you should make sure that you have a little bit of link just in case it breaks out over the next little while. We'll set in just a moment. We'll look at the price action. We'll see like where's the buy for Chainlink. Also, Bitamp Wallet review, user-friendly web wallet for Bitcoin transactions. Bitamp Wallet is an easy-to-use open source web Bitcoin wallet. Now, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but there is a new wallet out here for your Bitcoin. So if you are interested, you should certainly check out Bitamp. That was a brand new wallet just released over the last couple of days. Also, Spot Solana ETF records largest outflow, while XRP has a $90 million inflow. That is a massive move. We're going to look at these numbers in just a moment, but you're starting to see some rotation into XRP as people start to get excited about that. And you're not seeing the dump that we were talking about before. Remember I told you, we had a 50 15% drawdown on Bitcoin when it dumped. We had a 25% drawdown on Ethereum when the ETFs launched. But now we're not seeing these. We're seeing these. The ETFs are just launching. That's what's happening. They're just launching. So you got more and more and more coming out of every different pocket, if you will. And I mean, you know, the money is, people are excited about crypto. Institutions are excited about crypto, and we're not seeing that dump. So that might be a good sign. Might be. Why is crypto market recovering? Let's talk about this right here. Crypto market is having a slight rally today due to critical developments and increasing institutional backing. The second largest asset manager in the world, Vanguard, is launching its brokerage platform to crypto ETFs and mutual funds. The first one that they're using is IBIT. They're also allowing you to start with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. Guys, a year ago, if you guys remember, a year ago, we were talking about Vanguard being stuck in the past and how these ETFs came out and every asset manager said, we want to get in, we want to help our people. And then what happened to Vanguard? Vanguard lost 15% of their business in the course of the last year from people saying, you know what, you guys are idiots. So guess what? They're no longer idiots. Now they're on Team Bitcoin. So, and that's a great thing to see. Solana, we're not talking about that. Another force that is driving up the spirit is the Fusaka mainnet upgrade, which we talked about at the beginning. If you're interested in Fusaka and you missed it, go back and hit rewind and watch the show again. I'd appreciate that anyway. XRP ETFs have performed highly in terms of inflows, with a significant sum being added on the first. The inflow so far, $756 million on the XRP ETF. Also, Grayscale is launching the first Chainlink ETF. How can you not be bullish? Also, next week, in a couple of days, we're going to get a rate cut again. Franklin Templeton also added an XRP to its crypto index fund. Guys, everything positive and good that you've wanted to happen for all of this time, guess what? It's all happening right now. In the future, investors will keep a close eye on upcoming economic data. And by the way, we're going to have the November jobs report, S&P Global PMI. Such reports may bring information to the wider market trends. So maybe things are going to get really interesting. I don't know. Sam Altman has reportedly declared a code red at OpenAI as Google's Gemini takes off. Internal memos show that OpenAI is pausing projects like ads and shopping to focus on improving ChatGPT's performance. And by the way, look at this. The ads and shopping. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make it easier for monetization. But they stopped working on innovating, and now they're paying for it. And that is absolutely brilliant. They got caught with their feet flat is basically what happened there. So, ha. You know what I'm saying? No indicators have been hit, and we're still going to stick with that until there's no reason to stick with it. Also, Terra Casino, if you guys didn't pay attention, it aims by a lot. Like, guys, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people putting a lot of money into Terra Casino right now. By the way, if you want to, there's a 200-pound free roll every Sunday at 20:30 Greenwich Mean Time +1. Also, they're giving away 100 winners every day on Daily Madness. Le Viking, you can play right now, and 125,000 euros from October 6th to December 28th. Also, if you want to buy any meme coins, and by the way, if there's any meme or utility coins that you should buy, in my opinion, should be Terra, Terra. On Terra Luna Classic, you should buy some Juris Protocol. You should buy some Selenium. Those are the ones that I think have the best opportunity for massive gains when Market Module comes out. Also, I would look at WISO. WISO World happens to be one of the good ones as well. So I would check some of these out, and look, it's worth it to throw $100 at each one of them just to see what's going to happen. Also for Terra Luna Classic, just to give you guys a clear idea of what I think is going on, I think we're going to make a move right now to 406, and it's going to come very soon. We're up 15% over the last 2 days. Dev ecosystem, still no announcement. Still no anything. We're just kind of waiting for. Last month, they covered everything that they went through, everything that they did. It was all internal. There's nothing external happening right now. CoinMarketCap is the only marketing that they're doing right now. L1 speed isn't enough. Most chains still leave value pending after execution. Being fast is one thing. Being final is not the same. Dev changes the behavior of the chain itself by settling transactions the moment they're created, so nothing lags behind. When this happens, when this comes out, this is going to be a fundamental and paradigm shift in the way that crypto works, by the way. So if you haven't already, this is my final call. I mean, this is going to be my final call. Get yourself a bag of dev. That's all I'm saying. Get yourself a bag of dev. Now, Ultima up 59% on the this is the week. Let's go with the day. There we go. Maker up 14%, Pump up 14%, Pengu 12%, World Liberty up 10%, Hype up 10%, Sky up 14%, SPX up 13.5%. Starting to see a little bit of movement in this market, and that's a really good sign, right? On the second tier, we've got WeMix down 12.5%. We've got Monad up 40, almost 35%, Pippin up 43%, Zora up 19%. Wall, which is Walrus, which is up 11%, Super up 17%, eGold up 8.4%, Turbo 20.8%. Turbo coming back through. Ain't that a motherfucker? Avicii's up 14.5%, MOG up 11%. Guess what this means? This means that meme coins are popping right now. So you should start to see some movement in meme coins. There's a lot of them that seem to be lighting up at this point. Orca up 17%, Piverse up 30%, Honey up 12%, Nero up 11% on the day. Starting to see Mudeng down 7.5%. RLS up 95%, Prime up 43%, OR up 70%. Good day for recovery. Good day for recovery. So let's move on right now. Let's get into the Fear and Greed Index sitting at 23 right now. I suspect we're going to see a spike in that for the next 24 hours. But the move to sweep liquidity, sweep the leg, Daniel-san. Let's see, 24 hours. Boy, it went hard. Did not even focus on these lower tiers. We got to go to the 1 month number to kind of look at it and see if this resonates. And they are going after big ranges of liquidity. Next big move, 98,000. So again, what we talked about before, when I told you guys what I thought was going to happen with the market, when I told you, my expectation would be that Ethereum or that Bitcoin does what? Breaks above 91.4, and then where does it go? We just talked about this. It's going to be on the test, guys. It's on the daily right here. You got that 50 MA that's down at 100,000 right now. Over 2 or 3 days, you're going to see that 50 MA come down here like that. And you're going to see Bitcoin come up like that. And you're going to see that 98,000 right there. Okay? You're going to see that 98,000 wick right there. Guess what? That's where the liquidity is right there at 98,000. So that is the big pocket. So I would suspect that this is preordained, that we are going to hit 98,000. And then we're going to find out whether or not we're going to a lower low. That's where we come down here. Do we test and do we bounce, or do we break down? And if we break down, to be honest with you guys, rally's over. I would say that the rally's over because you can't maintain 91.4. People will get tired and they'll just move on to different assets. And that's not me fudding the market. That's just me saying that human psychology is what it is. So, I'd be watching this one with bated breath. Yesterday, on the flows, 8.5 million in inflows on the Bitcoin ETF. On the Ethereum ETF, we had outflows totaling 79 million. Not a great sign. Solana, again, had a big outflow, 101 in outflows. That's 13.5 million, up 236 million so far. And then we have the XRP ETF, which is just dominating right now, up 347 million, up 41 million yesterday. So just massive moves everywhere in these markets. Total value locked in DEX volume, we were at 6 billion yesterday for the top 4. Today, we're at 6 billion in the top 2, and we're at 9 billion overall, which means we've got a 50% increase in the amount of volume in retail, which means that we've flipped a page and we're starting to accelerate again. And you just saw that because we just talked about it. Meme coins are starting to move just a little bit. Now, I don't have any meme coins really kind of sitting here that we're, just that we have that we're really just, talking about and harping on. Everything's up basically the same right now. I will do this as we go, try to figure out where everything is. I don't know anything going on with Urim, by the way. Don't know anything going on with Volt. Nobody talks to me. blocky. Roger, I think it's kind of holiday season. So Roger's finishing up the things that he's doing, and then we maybe see something there. Moon AI. Now, by the way, my watch list actually has 5 on it, but for some reason I can't get MK to stay. Like you hit MK meme linked. Like it's on my list, but it never pops up anymore. Like I have to reset it over and over again to get it to pop up, and then it, then it pops up, and I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Derek Hines says, considering the cycle is 2 years behind, I would imagine the cycle is. Oh, it's absolutely broken. It's absolutely broken. Now, rest of the market. Let's see. We got 3.01 trillion market cap. All right, here we go. So you're gonna have to break above on the one day. This is on the daily. We're gonna have to break above. This is the daily that we're looking at, by the way. So we're gonna have to break above 3.04 trillion market cap. We're gonna have to really get a break above that 50 MA, because look how much it's coming down. And the 50 MA, by the way, is that yellow line right there. It's a trend over the last 50 days on price action. Price action's not looking good over 50 days. What we need is a break above, so this thing rounds itself and starts to make its way back up. And then we cross over this, and then we get like just a nice bullish crossover from all of this, and that would be a nice breakout. Now, if we zoom out just a little bit and we say, well, where's the volume at? Well, the volume is right where we are right now, but the second area of volume just happens to be at 3.41 trillion, which you can see right here. That's that little spike right there, which means that all of this stuff right here, like that's exactly where we're headed. If we stay bullish, if we continue to make a bullish narrative, if you will, then that's where we're going to be. All right. Now, the ultimate breakout right there is that white line right there, 3.73 trillion market cap. That's where the big volume is. 3.82, somewhere between. Let's box it up here. From here to here. That's going to be where we really start to see a nice recovery. And if we see that breakout, then I'm telling you right now, that's going to correlate with Bitcoin going over 100,000 right there. It's going to do exactly what we're looking at. Now, the volume, by the way, this is 100,000, so this is the last zone right there, coming all the way over here. Like that's that big zone for a breakout. Now, if we do, again, look at the volume. We start to zoom out, and where do we find our volume nodes? We find our volume nodes all the way up. Yeah, we're perfect on this volume node. Next move right now, 96, 97,000. All of that lines up. All of that lines up with what we just talked about in the location right there. Not exactly, but close enough that, you get a wick to 96, 98,000. Then you have the breakdown, 91.4. Then you have the rally, or you have the dump. Now, if you're a bear, here's what you're looking at right now. You think that the market is going to do exactly what I'm saying right now, by the way. Exactly what I'm saying right now. If you're a bear, you're probably looking at this and you're saying that the rally is probably going to happen because people are pricing in all of this new news. However, the bears are then going to step in and they are going to dump on this market, and that's where you've got this breakdown back here to 91,400. And then at 91,400, that is where the decision gets made. That decision is going to be, are we bullish or are we bearish? Are the bears wrong or are the bulls wrong? So from there, I think, bam, that's where you get that spike right there, or you get that spike down, and that's going to be the end of that market. And by the way, I do mean the end of the market in so much as we're going to have a massive drawdown. We'll have a massive drawdown because people will just be, algorithms will tell you, get out of the market. And once the algorithms have told you get out, you're going to get out. Okay. Once the algorithms are like, dude, get your fucking money out, then don't bet against the algorithms. Okay. And they've been using them against you for years. So don't bet against them. That's why it works. That's why you're frustrated. That's why you feel despair. That's why your wallets are down, because they're using algorithms that tell you all these different things, and you're not paying attention. So let's get back into chat right now. Rate cuts dump the market. Why would I want one? Rate cuts don't dump the market. The market is pumping right now based on the fact that a rate cut is coming. What's dumping the market is Wintermute selling off originally. By the way, Wintermute sold 95,000 Bitcoin or 9,500 Bitcoin yesterday. So this is a market maker liquidity dump is what's happening right now. And by the way, the reason that we're experiencing it the way that we are is because there's so many different cryptos. So many different cryptos. And what happened to Tau? What happened to Tau is the same thing that with the rest of the market. I don't understand how. This is not complicated, guys. It's really not. Here's what happens. The market giveth and the market taketh away. I mean, I'm up. You know what I mean? Like I'm continuing to earn BitTensor. I'm continuing to earn. I'm doing good with it. You know what I mean? Like even at $282, I'm doing good with it. By the way, I accumulate more at $282. Guess what? In a couple days, when the market continues to rally. And by the way, Derek, let me say this. Because you're asking about Tau. All right. AI narratives are rotational. Today is not an AI rotation. However, here's what we're going to zoom out just a little bit and let's look down the list. Dev is up 11% on the day. No big deal, by the way. That's not a lot, but it is up 11% on the day. That's not AI. SWI is not AI. It's up 17%. Near Protocol is up 12%. It is AI, but it's not based on AI that it's up, because Arrow is up 10% as well, and it's a lending institution. Pendle's up 10%, and it's a lending institution. Ondo is up 10%. It's a lending institution. Syrup is up 10%. It's a lending institution. By the way, Near Protocol has lending institutions as its primary focus. So what's happening right now is we're getting the rotation into that. Cardano, stablecoin up 11%. That's crazy, isn't it? Fetch AI, which has been undervalued for a while, is up 13%. ASM is up 10%, but the number one and number two and number three of the cryptos, Near, is up 10%. ICP only up 6%, just like Tau. So what I think you're seeing is everybody kind of just go back into the market to see what's happening, because they don't know what's happening. And they're just kind of placing their money in all kinds of different places. But look, Brett, 21%, Bonk, 10%, Floki, 11%. People are just throwing money at bullshit is really what's happening right here. And by the way, if you're holding some of these and you think that you don't like the fact that I just called your crypto bullshit, it's bullshit, okay? It's bullshit. It's a meme coin. It's bullshit. Pengu, 22% on the day. I mean, look, they're recovering a little bit. They're giving the people that bought the bottom a little bit of profit, but that's it. That's all this is. So, by the way, what is this? To the US dollar on Coinbase. We don't need Coinbase. Jesus Christ, what are we retarded? Oh, this, by the way, I wanted to bring this up at some point, and you know what? Let's move this up here. I want to show you guys this one. We got total and total right there. This is the market without stable coins. If you could compare the two markets right there, pretty in lockstep today. But remember I told you yesterday, stable coins were ripping while the market was dipping, and this is just a fake out that we're going to have a big rally. Ta-da! 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 Can't make this shit up. Well, you can't make this shit up. You can. You can actually make it up. Anyway, continuing to go down the list here. I'm not sure. The AI narrative, Derek, to get back to you. The narrative of AI is that things are overvalued right now. So it would be my estimation that it would be my estimation that Tau is now considered overpriced a little bit, that ICP is now considered overpriced a little bit. Why? Because NVIDIA was considered overpriced a little bit, and that narrative will start to slow itself down as we get away from the NVIDIA earnings and the NVIDIA conversation. ChatGPT is back in vogue right now. ChatGPT is reversing course at OpenAI, and they're changing the way that they're doing stuff to make sure that they're worried more about innovation instead of market valuation. So you know, you're looking at a mix of crazy stuff happening in the market right now. You're trying to make sense of it, or at least investors are trying to make sense of it, and they're just not ready to start front running this stuff. And by the way, since we started talking about it, Tau's up another 3%, having a little bit of a breakout. Let's look at it on the 30-minute. On the 30-minute, you've got okay, so I think it's about to, like, this is early for the move, but I mean, like, you're breaking above the 50. You broke out above the 50. You broke out above the 200, or you're breaking above the 200 right now. If you continue to surge, then, you know, you flip bullish right here and you come back up here into the $300 range, and this starts to move quickly, and this starts to move quickly back up, and you get that cross, and that's when you get the big breakout, or would get a big breakout, or you would watch a big breakout. And remember, these things will tell the AI algorithm what to do. These will tell the AI algorithm to start buying, start accumulating, because this is a bounce. And by the way, this is bouncing off a pretty good spot. It formed a double bottom, and now it's having a strong push. So, and by the way, I cashed out 1 Tau yesterday at $260. So it annoys the shit out of me to see it at $286 today. But it's just $25. You know what I mean? But whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever, as Justin Timberlake would say. Whatever. All right, anyway, so there we go. Whew, that's what's going on in the market. I got to go. I got a meeting at 10 o'clock. I told you guys I've got a new management company taking over the channel here to try to build. We need to grow. We've got 50 people watching right now. We need to have so many more people watching right now. And in order for me to break out of that, then I got to start producing different content and doing different things. So we're going to be talking about what my lane is and what it looks like. I just got told that I need to do more educational content. So I'll be working on educational content now. So you guys are going to learn quite a bit in the next little while. Also, when you're doing it, don't forget, I am partner with Track My Trades. So if you are interested, there's a link in the description down below. You can go start tracking your first trade over here. And then you can you can take advantage of any opportunities. Now, if you get a little bit deeper, then you can start to use the paid membership if you choose to. Right now, you just track your trades. But if you want to know when to buy and sell on your trades, sign up. I think there's a monthly fee. I don't think it's that expensive either. I think it's like $20 a month or something like that. Look, if it's $20 a month for you to make $100 a month, you're winning. If it's $20 a month for you to make $1,000 a month, you're absolutely winning. But you can do it for free if you want to. Also, if you want to know everything there is to know, or everything you need to know about cryptocurrency, then guess what? I have a spot for you. It is one of my new partners. It's not in the thing yet, but it's going to be in just a little while, and it is the Crypto School, and this is the Bleaves Crypto School. So if you are interested, guys, it is very simple. All you have to do is go check it out. And I already made a trailer for you. So if you're interested, certainly go to cryptostrategyschool.com/Bleaves. And by the way, I'll just pop that into the chat. Which, by the way, why did I do that? Why did I take the chat thing off? Like, am I retarded? Like, am I Elon Musky? There you go. Crypto Strategy School. If you guys are interested, you can certainly go check that out. Sign up today and start learning. Start learning everything you need to know about cryptocurrency and all the things that you think you know that you might not know. Get another education on it. Anyway, that's the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch me today. I appreciate you guys. Got to go get this meeting done, and then it is time to go get that swole on.